Hello guys, welcome to another video. This time is about my build because people keep asking me questions about how I'm getting 50k shield and 1 health. I haven't nabbed this from the internet or anything. This is pretty much kind of figured it out myself. So it is dependent on one item to get 50k, but you can squeeze more out of the shield that you've got. So let's take a little look at my items at the minute. I'm currently on 13k shield and 6k health. I do have some guardian points spent, which buff me up a little bit, some shield capacity and max health. So if your figures are not matching my figures, it's probably because of that. We'll come to this stuff a little bit more in a minute. So at the minute I've got a mod on that has nothing to do with the shield, and I've got this pretty standard shield which gives us 11k. So what I'm going to do is I do have a shield here which converts 60% of my max health and returns it at shield capacity, but this isn't important really. I tell you what, I'll put that on last just to show you, so because you can squeeze stuff out. It's not dependent on the shield. So what I'm going to do is I've respect, and we'll go to the orange tree. I'm going to spend 5 points on armored infantry, 5 points on ingenuity, 3 points on the thin red line. Now this is the one that converts your maximum shield from HP. So let's take a little look at that. And that's taken us up to 24, almost 25k in total. And we were on earlier 12, we were on about 20k. So we squeezed a little bit more overall HP, I guess. We have not HP, overall total damage that we can take. So if I carry on with the build, it's going to put 1 point into munitions, 1 point into brass, 3 points into desperate measures. But desperate measures goes well with this build because desperate measures gives you a gun damage increase of up to 50%. And since we're going to go down to 1 HP, that's pretty awesome. I'm going to nip over to the green tree. Oops. I'm going to put 5 points into Clout of Lead, 1 point into redistribution. Now I've got 1 on my mod, so I can overclock this by 1. It gives us 10% magazine return for 3 seconds. So 5 points into, oops, not there yet. 3 points into Stoke the Embers, 1 point into Scrappy, 5 points into Scorching RPMs, 5 points into magazine extension, 1 point into, now you'd have to go down here. I just love Forge. I'm not going to get into why I love it, I just love it. It's really good in Slaughterhouse, which obviously has a massive duration of about 2 hours sometimes if you go in there solo. So I need Forge, and it's no point in respeccing just to do bosses, because bosses melt anyway. And I put 1 point in here, and I could put 4 points into that, which is awesome, but I want to test something which is unrelated to this build. So I'm going to put enough points in there to send me up to the Forge. That leaves us with 4 points to spend. I'm going to put 2 points into Iron Curtain, which increases our recharge rate, which is super important. Not too bothered about the recharge delay at the minute, but that's still quite important. Whenever Moze scores a critical kill, the shields immediately begin recharging, and that's what we want. That's why recharge rate is more important than delay, because you get critical kills quite often and you see your shield start going up. So every point of shield that we can squeeze out of the rate is better. And I'm going to put 1 point into Phalanx Dotterine, and that's it. That is that. Let me just put some weapons on Bear. Second. Now, obviously, this isn't much of a Bear build, really. But in Mayhem 3, I only really use Bear when I'm in the shit and I need to get away from something, because it doesn't last very long in Mayhem 3. It just melts. And I think that is that. Now, I will tell you one thing which you think might be I might be missing out on you. But if you don't go down this tree to the Forge and you think that this Tenacious Defense would be really cool, it doesn't actually work. I've tried it, I've tested it, I thought it would be cool. It doesn't. And what Tenacious Defense does, it gives you 40% of your shields back when your shields deplete. But because we got 1 HP, it's not proccing fast enough and you just die instantly, and it's not proccing, so you don't get your shields back. Basically, it's not working. I think it might work sometimes. It all depends what happens really, but that doesn't work with this build. Let's take a little look at where we are right now. So we've got 22k and 2k, so that's about 25k, which is fine really. That's where you can squeeze out of with no items. Now I've got a shield which converts 60% of my max health and returns it to shield capacity. So I'm going to put that on right now, and that's going to take me up to down to 1 health and 28k shields, which is fine considering when we started we were on about 20k in total. Now we've squeezed another 9k out of it, and we've got an extra 50% gun damage bonus. So we're already onto a winner. But don't worry about the shield too much. That shield is awesome. Just takes off 60%. They're quite common, these front loaders. I've seen more than one of them. But the beauty is, the one that's going to make the massive difference is going to be this artifact. Reserves all but 1 health. Well, we're already on 1 health, so it's not a big deal. And gives us 100% shield capacity, plus 25% shield recharge rate, minus 20% delay. So let's ram that in there. Watch that baby go up. That should take us to about 45. 45,646 shield. With the doctrine, with the Phalanx doctrine, if you get 2 or 3 kills, I'll take you up to about 50k. And if you've got, there's another shield here as well I have, called the Tumble Stopgap, which has got an anointed on it. After X9 and Bay, you gain an extra 75% increased shields. Well, this isn't great, it doesn't work that well, but if you had amazing shield recharge rate, you could squeeze 20 seconds of extra shield in there. But because it's taken like 10 seconds to get there, that'll give you 64k for about 15 to 20 seconds, and you can do a bit of damage. You can take a bit of damage. So if you're in a spot where you're in a bit of trouble, or the guy is melting you a bit easy, just put that on and try that, and I'll give you an extra, what was it, 15, 17, 18k shields. Okay, so that's it. So it is dependent on this Electric Slide Deathless, but you can, the reason I'm putting it up is you can get more. Was that the right one? You can get more without it. Just keep your eyes open for that Slide Deathless. And I think that is it. Now, unbelievably, this is like the 4th time I tried this video. For some reason, OBS keeps knocking itself off, but it's done its job this time. Anything else in here gonna help you out? Nothing really. I've got this Minesweeper mod, which is amazing. Gives me 25% weapon damage and overclocks. Landed a critical hit has a 25% chance to drop a micro grenade. It's awesome. 36% shield recharge rate. So yeah, so when you go to spend your Guardian points, the shield recharge rate is number 1 in my books. Shield capacity and shield recharge rate are the 2 primary ones to go for. I wish I hadn't spent so many points in the recharge delay. Probably would have been better in rate with this build. It's probably better. Like I still owe the bank 41 points. There's some bug gave me 40 points and I spent them, and now I want some back. Okay, so that's it, guys. If you see anything in there where I can squeeze a couple more shields, a couple more points in shields, let me know. Sorry I run through this stuff quite fast, but what this build does, it gives me superb ammunition conservation, and increases magazine size. Some double barrels I've even got to triple tap on some of them. And I'd love Forge too much for me to lose now. I'm so used to it. And that's pretty much it. That's not important. Well, you're not going to be using that because of the ammo regen. The gun damage isn't going to go up that much because some guns don't even go down. They don't even lose ammunition. And that's just nonsense. That's a Moze. That's a bear. special skill. I gain 2 points from my mod for splash damage and more splash damage. Now, I've seen a build that actually goes down this tree where you're lobbing grenades, and but it's reliant as well on a shield that I don't have. It's one where you get HP back from shock damage that you do. But I don't want to do that because I don't want to be dependent on lobbing grenades, and I don't want to be dependent on doing splash damage as well. So there is. I like this build. I've tried loads of others. I'm quite happy with survivability at the minute. She does really well in Mayhem 3, no problems at all whatsoever. And there you go. I've got Lyuda number 4, Butcher in number 2. You can put any kind of corrosive in number 3, and that leaves number 1 then to play around with. But the Lyuda and the Butcher are insane. The Shock Butcher as well is just my shield destroyer. Destroyer of shields with his 150% shield bonus. It's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. And get the Lyuda as well on fire. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. My grenades, longbows, I prefer longbows. Gives me heals my shields for 30% of my damage dealt. Not massive. Doesn't do a massive amount of damage though. I play around with grenades quite a bit. I don't think there's anything else to show you. As far as ammo capacity goes, check the Lyuda now. I've got an ammo capacity of 22. And I think it's something like 15 stock. So that gives me an extra 6 or 7 shells, which is awesome. And what I wanted to check actually, let's go back. Moze's currently equipped weapons gains a stacking bonus to magazine size plus 8%. Magazine size plus 8%. So that's right. It doesn't say though. It doesn't tell you what you're getting. So for every piece of equipment that you've got stocked, includes your equipment as well. So I've got 2 Hyperions, 3 Hyperions, 1 Iridian, 1 Vladov, 1 Torg, and 1 Malawan. So I'm getting, I think, 6% from these 3 items. And you could play around with it and squeeze a little bit more out of. I think I'll stick with this, I think, instead of getting... We'll see, because I did have 4 points in that. Actually, I had 5 points in that, so I'll see now when I play around. I'll see if I actually miss it. I might swap back. I'll leave a comment in the section below if I think it's better. Okay, right. Thanks for watching, guys. I am shattered. I am going to take a break, and I shall see you very soon. Ta-ra now.